What's up, guys? I am doing my wrap-up deck profile of the Pearl, Mississippi Regional. There I played zombies, and I did average, but this is the new zombies using the IGAS cards. That's Jack-o'-Bolin, and a few different ideas I had. Some things were good, some things were great, but we're gonna jump right into it, and you can tell me what you think. So, first up, of course, 3 Solitaire. He's so mandatory. We need him. And to get to 3 Unizombie. We always seem to open Unizombie instead of Solitaire. I have no idea why, but usually when you see these two, you are on your way to making the boards you need to see. Now, 3 of the new guy, Jack-o'-Bolin. So Jack-o'-Bolin is crazy. He's so pivotal for the deck. He's at least 2. I play him at 3. What he does is he special summons from your hand by discarding a zombie that's already major. But also, during your opponent's turn, you can special summon a zombie from your grave or your opponent's graveyard to your side of the field. And once it leaves, that monster gets banished, and when Jack-o'-Bolin uses his effect, he gets banished. So 1, he's protected while he's off the field because he's going to come back on your end phase. And if you take a zombie from your opponent's graveyard, and you know, you're using Zombie World, so that's easy, that monster gets banished when it leaves the field. So you're essentially DD Crowing your opponent, but also getting to use that monster for like link material or anything. So, I think this is the last 3 of. I played 3 Ghost Belle. This was for a very specific reason. Well, 1, Ghost Belle's pretty decent against a lot of decks right now. Everybody likes to play in the grave, almost like they're the zombies now. But I specifically want Ghost Belle to stop Cult by the Grave, because if you've played zombies for a while, you know that on our first turn play, when we get Balderrock in the grave after linking off into Sucker, he activates in the standby phase, which your opponent can very well just call by him, and well, that blows up everything. I did Ghost Belle 1 call by, so it did work out the way I wanted to. And then 2 Mizuki, he's a staple for the deck, you have to have him. 2 Glow Up Bloom, because you just really need to get into Balderrock and even Jack sometimes, so I really want to see him as much as I can. And then the 1-ofs, Necro Banshee to hurry up and get into Zombie World. Fräulein for that battle, like, protection and an aggression. I almost OTK'd with her. I'm so upset I didn't actually finish that round the way I wanted to, but that's life. And then the King, Doom King Balderrock. He is everything for the deck. He's this entire strategy, which is why you want to protect him. I wanted to go up to 2, but because of timing reasons, I didn't have enough time to get in my extra copy of Balderrock. Because if he gets banished and you can't get him back with like Omega, woo, you're in for a world of hurt. And then my draw engine, I had a danger package. This which would be a Jackalope, but I didn't have time to get another copy. They do what they're supposed to do. They give you field presence, they get you cards. I wish they actually gained more advantage than they do, and sometimes I just didn't see them. So in the future, I think I would take a more aggressive approach to getting like cards in my hand. On to spells, we have, of course, Triple Zombie World. I need to see it. Then I have Triple Cult by the Grave, because this is a going first deck. I really hate hand traps. The deck is, it's fragile. Then double Super Poly. We are playing Zombie World, which means we can always make Draco Necro on our opponent's boards. If we go first, we can set it. If we're going second, we can use it to break boards. It's a beautiful card. One of the strongest cards in this deck, period. And then the 1-of spell squad, we have Monster Reborn, 1-for-1 Foolish Burial, and Terraforming. 1-for-1 is here for Glow Up Bloom, and I can make it. I can turn it into a Link Karibo. It's very simple. I honestly would have cut this for the second copy of Balderrock because it's just not that impactful of a play. And a card you can search at 2, I think, is better than a card you can't search at 1. And then last but not least, the traps. We have Triple Rivalry. Is it grimy? Yes, but I really want to win games. And I did. Sometimes just because of rivalry. It's just that strong of a card. My final trap is Shiranui style Swallow Slash. It's an Icarus attack. It did help me close out a game against Cyber Dragons once. It's an okay card. It's not amazing, but it's pretty okay. On to my extra. Of course, I play 2 Vampire Sucker. Honestly, she's half the extra deck by herself. She's so important. One of the first things you make, she's how you get advantage on that first turn. But if the deck doesn't open well, sometimes you'll struggle to actually get into her, which is really a terrible situation to be in. So I don't think you need 3, because if you've made a third one in a game, that game's gone entirely too long. 2 has been just enough. And then Nightmare Unicorn, I never got to make it. IP Masquerena would have been great, never got to make it. Link Karibo, didn't get to make it. Nightmare Unicorn, also didn't get to make it. Who should have closed out a game, but I made a bad decision. Borosword, could have made him, didn't, paid for it. And then my Synchros, I didn't even get close to them. Because like I said before, Balderok is everything in this deck. You usually close the game out before you even get to these guys, but they're still very useful to have. That's Omega and Shogun Saga. Shogun Saga swings really hard, and he's a natural zombie, so if you don't have Zombie Lord, he gets the job done. And Cypher Lord, he just lets you get your banished cards back, and anyone who plays zombies, they know how useful he is. And then my Super Poly targets, Drago Necro. If you don't know, he's not like Starving Venom where he's extremely powerful, but he's 3,000, takes 2 zombies, and he can swing into a monster, make a token that has that monster's stats, and that monster gets put to 0 in attack and defense. So then the token can just swing into it and do the real damage. I nearly OTK'd with him. That was with Fräulein. I messed up the play. I don't want to go into it. And the last but not least, Super Poly targets. Different types, same attribute. Darks, Links, Salamangreats. And on to the side. So I tried my best. First up was evenly matched. This was really with Spiral in mind, and Altergeist, any deck that puts a lot of cards on the board first turn. I actually didn't see evenly matched, sadly. I really wanted to, but I just didn't. Though I know it would have been helpful had I seen it. A card I did see, Nibiru. Nibiru helped me close out games against like Lunalights and things. Just a very solid card, though everyone's expecting it now. So I do worry about the future of Nibiru. 3 Dark Ruler No More. It's really here for Spiral and like Dragon Link. I didn't see it, but I really wish I did. Twin Twisters, because I hate Altergeist. I just do. And any other situation that might come up. I didn't actually see Altergeist, but I always felt confident knowing that I did have them, because this is one of those cards that zombies love playing, because we don't mind discarding. And last but not least is Ash Blossom. I did not feel confident about Ash in the main going into this event. And I think I was right to do so, because I just didn't find many opportunities this past event to actually use Ash in like its most impactful way, which is Ash and stop their play. So I did side it in case I did end up in any weird roguey matchups. Nothing terribly ashable showed up for me today. So I was actually happy it wasn't in my hand, like clogging me up with hand traps.
Okay, so a little bit about your matchups or anything that you would change.
Okay, so my matchups were very, very rogue. It was Lunalights, Cyber Dragons, Paleo Frogs, and then 1 Orcust. None of those matches felt like they were too out of my hands. The Orcust blew me out, but a lot of my matches, they felt pretty like doable. My big issue that I definitely have to address going forward with this deck is card advantage. If they break your initial board, well, at least with this build, you have so few cards left, you kind of can't recover, and that's tragic. So I would like to maybe add in cards like Allure, Perform Power, Popper Up, and even like Pot of Extravagance. Really anything that does get me cards. Because you might think Extravagance is a bad card for this deck, but once you make Sucker and you've started that like first turn board play, and if you didn't see Super Poly, well, shoot, just go ahead and banish 6 of them. Give me cards. Like,
right. Well, so maybe we'll see an updated version of this sometime in the future then.
Oh, for sure,
Perhaps.
for sure.
All right. Well, any last words, any shout outs, anything like that? Fun times at the regional.
Shout outs to Pentasmite Gaming, that store. They were very welcoming. Had a great community over there. And that's all I got.
All right, cool. If you guys liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. We'll have more deck profiles soon.